Before I became ill, I had a great life. I mean, it was a tremendous life. I was living the dream. But it was a long time, a long downhill demise of who I previously was. I was unable to really get any kind of equal employment. And then I decided to go to work at Wendy's and start flipping burgers. In November of 2013, I had a heart attack. So on January 7th, at 9 o'clock, I was told that somebody was going to come and physically remove me from the premises. So at that point in time, very depressed, very anxious, very paranoid, I decided to take my own life. If it wasn't for this one police officer who rushed in to save me and cut me down, I would not be here. So it was just seconds before I died. Next thing I know, I remember waking up on the kitchen floor. Is where I did it, in the kitchen. And at first I was extremely upset that it wasn't successful, but it didn't take me too long to understand that I had another chance at life. Once I got down to Coleman, everybody was extremely nice. And then slowly but surely I started being able to smile again and joke around again, which I hadn't done in probably 2, 3, 4 years. I came to get this apartment through the great work of Jessica and my caseworker, Jillian. They knew I was homeless. They took it to heart to help me get housing because I had nowhere to go. It was nice to see that there are people out there that really care about the individual and not whatever else they might be motivated by. And that was Coleman. And I saw that right away. Coleman has given me a second chance at life. So I don't know if I could put it any other way. By helping me in situations that I found myself in and wish I weren't in.
My daughter worries about me, so I go to adult care center so that she can go to her job and have her mind at ease.
When he's at Coleman during the day while I work, it relieves my anxiety of leaving Dad alone. There was a period of time before we started at Coleman that a friend of ours would come and stay with him during the day, but it wasn't the entire day, and there were those pockets of time that I would worry, you know, and I'd want to rush home from work to make sure that I was here and he wasn't on the floor or having some issue that there was nobody to assist him with.
I participate in activities there.
They seem to love him, and he loves them back. And there's a number of people that he comes in home and he tells me stories about things that happened or people did things or the activities that they engaged in. And
I like to listen to the music when they have an artist come in to entertain.
The services that Dad receives at Coleman is nutrition. They make sure that he gets something to eat. The social interaction. There are varying degrees of types of people at Coleman that he interacts with. He comes home and tells me about the guys at his table and the things that they do there, and I know that he's engaged in a way that he wouldn't be if he was sitting at home in front of the TV all day long. Even if we had somebody to come in and sit with him, it's not as stimulating an environment as it is at Coleman.
They do have several registered nurses there, and they administer prescriptions to people that need it.
They come and pick him up in the morning and they bring him home in the afternoon. By having him attend Coleman, it leaves me free to go to work and know that he's in good hands, and I just don't have to worry about it.
I've had an experience that lightens up the day, that's all.
So it's been a real family atmosphere almost in some regards, and they just take an interest in the people and take good care of them.
I'm 17 years old. I'm currently a Kent State student that goes to Ravenna High School, and Kent State is post-secondary. I take about 6 classes at Kent State right now. By the end of this semester, I will have 29 credits, which is one away from being a sophomore at Kent State. After I graduate Kent State, I want to become a licensed therapist and work in a psychiatric hospital for children and adolescents.
When he was young, it was a blessing to have him. He was an absolutely, and I'm not kidding, perfect child in every way.
The first thing that my mom did was put me in sports whenever I was young. I did soccer, tennis, golf, baseball, wrestling, football. I did it all and I loved it. The next biggest thing was school and family.
School was always a joy for him, and every teacher just loved him. He was really good.
I never thought anything was wrong with me. I never thought I had a mental illness. It's almost like one night everything changed and I just was a completely different person and nothing mattered anymore. Nothing made me happy.
Things changed. Things got a little bit dark. And sometimes it's hard to think back to those years, but something came over my son at that time and it changed him. And when things didn't get better and they got progressively worse, I did reach out to Coleman. The first way I reached out was I called their 24-hour access line, and I just was so happy that when I called, and I think it was I don't know, 2 in the morning, he had cut himself and somebody helped me there. They talked me down and told me to come in, that somebody would be there for us, and I got him in the car reluctantly, and we went there and someone talked to him.
I have tried to take my own life about 4 times, and I used to cut myself whenever I was younger, and that's whenever they diagnosed me with major depressive disorder.
They found out that he was suicidal, and I didn't know this, and Jeremy didn't think there was anything wrong. He just was so confused when the person at Access asked him some questions, and the questions that he answered, they came out and told me that, unfortunately, that my son was going to be hospitalized because they were afraid to send him home because he was suicidal.
The girl from Access asked me, have you ever tried to hurt yourself? Have you ever tried to kill yourself? Do you feel sad? And that my answers to those questions were yes. It finally made me realize that something was wrong with me.
Without their help, I don't know where either one of us would be right now, and that's the truth. There was a long path to get to where he is now, and Coleman helped us get there.
And that's why I joined Coleman Youth Board, because I wanted to get mental health into the school system, and I felt like this was the biggest way possible. So by helping other people that had maybe the same problems that I had, made me feel really good about myself because I was helping somebody else, and that in return helped me as a person.
He wants to be in that sort of position to talk kids and explain and kind of give his insight and his experiences, and so no one else has to go through what he went through.
I would definitely recommend Coleman because they've always been there for me. They have always put me on the right path. They've never once given up on me on the years that I've been through all this troubling times.
You will not regret walking in their doors. They will be there for you.
And as of today, I feel like I'm a million times better than where I was years ago because now I can actually talk with people. I can talk about my feelings. Coleman has taught me how to deal and cope with stressful situations, and that's what I love about Coleman.